Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Bachelor in Paradise star breaks down that insane rose ceremony. Bachelor in Paradise viewers were in store for quite the fireworks when Justin Glaze's ex-girlfriend Susie Evans joined the show on Monday's July 14 episode. But nobody could have predicted what happened at that insane rose ceremony. Read on to find out how it went down. As one of the stars tells Parade, it was insane and that everyone was in shock. But beware of spoilers ahead. If you haven't watched the episode yet, stop reading. At the end of the episode, 3 girls for sure did not get roses: Ollie Jo Hanks, Jill Chin, and Zoe McGrady. The remaining couples on the show are Spencer Conley and Jess Edwards, Dale Moss and Kat Izzo, Jeremy Simon and Bailey Brown, Brian Otts and Parissa Shifta, and Jonathan Johnson and Alex Godin. But what about Susie, Justin, and Lexi? Justin did not give Lexi his rose. Instead, he offered it to Susie, who turned him down. Contestant Jess tells Parade that it was a crazy turn of events. "Oh my gosh, even just thinking about that rose ceremony again stresses me out, honestly," says Jess. "I definitely thought Justin was going to give Lexi his rose. So when he said Susie, what went through my mind was, oh my God, my best friend in here is going home. For one, and then also, I can't speak for everyone else, but for myself, I'm like, what does this mean? Does he want to get back together with her? Why is he doing this? What is going to happen?" It was insane. I think everyone was in shock. Lexi and Jess are quite close from having both been on Joey Graziadei's season of The Bachelor. But despite Lexi being her girl, Jess says that she ultimately thinks Justin was being sincere in just trying to offer Susie more of a chance to be there and possibly meet someone new. Honestly, I do think that he felt like he probably owed her that opportunity because they had such a long history, and maybe the situation with him and Lexi just wasn't going at the pace that maybe he wanted it to, said Jess. So I do think that he had the intention of just giving Susie some extra time there. And as far as Jess and Spencer go, Jess assures us that she never even considered picking anyone else for the kissing booth game. For right now, Spencer is her one and only. "Just keep watching. I'm super excited for the rest of the season," says Jess. Bachelor in Paradise star breaks down that insane rose ceremony. If there's one thing Bachelor in Paradise can always be counted on for, it's chaos wrapped in candlelight, cocktails, and a beachfront rose ceremony that somehow manages to feel more nerve-wracking than any final rose on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. But even by Paradise standards, last night's ceremony was nothing short of jaw-dropping. Contestants, producers, and viewers alike were left clutching their pearls, whispering in disbelief, and refreshing Twitter to confirm they hadn't imagined what just went down. And now, one of the stars caught in the middle of it all is speaking out, giving fans a behind-the-scenes look at what she calls the most insane rose ceremony she's ever experienced. The setup, nerves, tension, and too many love triangles. Going into the evening, Paradise was already at a boiling point. Relationships were fragile, triangles were forming faster than anyone could order another margarita, and whispers of betrayal floated from cabana to cabana. Contestants had been trading confidences in the hot tub and side-eyeing each other at the bar, all while the looming ceremony hung over their heads like storm clouds. "The whole day just felt heavy," the star recalled. "Everyone was pretending to be chill, but you could feel the tension in the air. Nobody trusted anyone. You'd walk past the daybeds, and people would stop talking mid-sentence. It was that kind of energy." The ceremony itself promised to be pivotal. With the roses in the hands of the women this week, the men were left scrambling, trying to lock down commitments while also hedging their bets. Flirty conversations, last-minute confessions, and unexpected declarations of loyalty were flying faster than George could refill the tequila station. The twist that shook the beach. When host Jesse Palmer gathered everyone under the string lights for the ritual, most assumed they knew how the roses would fall. Couples had been spending plenty of time together in front of the cameras, and alliances seemed clear, at least from the outside. But as soon as the first few names were called, jaws began to drop. One woman, who had been confidently paired off all week, made a shocking pivot, handing her rose not to her presumed partner, but to another man she'd only started talking to the night before. Gasps echoed. Drinks froze mid-sip. Somewhere, a producer probably started silently fist-pumping. That moment literally made my stomach flip, the star revealed. We had all been talking about how locked in she was, so when she said another name, I swear the entire beach stopped breathing. You could hear the ocean. That's how quiet it got. The ripple effect was instant. The man left roseless by the switch suddenly found himself in jeopardy, while the recipient grinned like he just won a $1 million jackpot. From there, the dominoes continued to fall in the most unpredictable ways. Betrayal, redemption, and one walkout. Another stunner came when a fan-favorite contestant, who had been agonizing over which of two men to choose, shocked both of them by selecting neither. Instead, she gave her rose to a surprise third option, someone who had been mostly background all season. The choice sent one guy storming off, muttering about wasted time and broken promises. That was the point where I was like, okay, this isn't just dramatic, it's full-on insane, the insider said. Because you expect tears, you expect heartbreak. But nobody expected someone to just walk away before the ceremony even ended. Meanwhile, a last-minute redemption arc unfolded when a contestant who had spent the week on thin ice managed to win back his partner's trust. Against all odds, she gave him her rose with a whispered, "Don't make me regret this." The crowd erupted in applause, equal parts relief and disbelief. It was whiplash, the star confessed. One second you're watching someone get crushed, the next second you're watching this huge reconciliation. I was dizzy by the end of it. Cameras versus reality. What viewers saw was already a roller coaster, but according to those on the beach, the actual experience was even wilder. The pauses, the whispered strategy sessions between roses, the tears that didn't quite make it to air, all of it amplified the pressure. You're standing there in heels, sweating under those lights, knowing that every second is going to live forever on TV, the star explained. It's not just about who you give the rose to. It's about what that says about you, your character, your relationships. And in that moment, everything feels so high stakes. What the cameras didn't fully capture, she added, was just how long the night dragged on. People think it's quick, like 5 minutes of names and done. But it's hours, 8 hours. By the time the last rose was handed out, I was dehydrated, emotionally fried, and my brain was basically mush. The fallout. Of course, no rose ceremony ends when the final flower is given. The aftershocks ripple through paradise for days, sometimes the whole season. The men who were left without roses packed their bags in stunned silence, some shaking hands, others refusing eye contact altogether. Back at the Palapa, those who survived scrambled to process what just happened. Some couples were stronger than ever, cemented by loyalty. Others were suddenly fragile, their foundations cracked by betrayal. And some new pairings had to decide whether they were genuine connections or just products of desperation. Walking away that night, I remember thinking, nothing will be the same after this, the contestant admitted. And honestly, I was right. That ceremony didn't just change a couple of relationships, it changed the entire course of the season. Fans react. If the beach was stunned, Bachelor Nation was positively unhinged. Twitter lit up within minutes of the episode airing, with viewers screaming in all caps about betrayals, shipwrecked couples, and shocking saves. Memes were born instantly. Roses superimposed over exploding volcanoes. Reaction GIFs of Paradise alums clutching their hearts. "Bachelor in Paradise just broke me," one fan tweeted. That rose ceremony was more dramatic than my last 5 breakups combined. Another wrote, I need oxygen and maybe a therapist after that. Insane. Why this one stands out. Rose ceremonies are inherently dramatic. They're designed to be. But what made this one particularly unforgettable was the sheer unpredictability of it all. There were no safe bets, no guarantees, no sense of inevitability. Every name called shifted the narrative in a new direction. It was like Jenga, the star said. One block gets pulled, and suddenly the whole tower is shaking. That's exactly how it felt. Nobody knew what would happen next, and every choice was a game changer. Looking ahead. With the dust barely settled, Paradise is bracing for the aftermath. The couples formed under those string lights will now have to prove whether their bond can withstand scrutiny, or whether they were simply playing the game to survive another week. For the star who lived through it, the memory is still raw but unforgettable. I'll never forget standing there, clutching my rose, watching chaos unfold all around me. It was surreal. It was messy. It was Paradise at its best, and its craziest. And with weeks still left in the season, one thing is certain, if that rose ceremony was insane, fans better buckle up. Because in Paradise, the wildest twists are usually yet to come.